Hello and welcome everyone to this month's snippet on the match. During our time together today, we're going to take a look at the different GME matching programs. We'll explore the rules that candidates and programs must follow, or at least highlights of some of the rules. And then lastly, we'll take a look at why the match data is important for us to know where to find it, as well as how to use it in our future programs. So let's start by defining what the match is. The match is a generic term given to the systems that are used to place candidates for residency programs in the residency program of their choice. It is a coordinated, confidential process with results being released only to applicants and to the program. It is a big deal for everyone. Medical schools hold match day parties, hospitals appear to cease all operations when the match results come out, and everyone celebrates. It is one of the highlights of the year for all involved in graduate medical education. There are many types of matches that occur for graduate medical education and other educational programs. So we'll take a quick tour of a few of the popular matches. I want you to keep in mind, though, that as we go through these services, they each have their own specific resident specialties that they are matching for, and they all have their own specific deadlines, so they could be different. So you need to make sure that when you are looking at the match that you're using, you're on the right site, looking at the right service, and following the proper calendar. The National Residency Matching Service, or more commonly known as the NRMP, is what is considered the main match and what is typically referred to as, quote, the match, unquote. The NRMP system is used by the majority of residencies and fellowships and is really considered the premier matching service for GME programs. The National Matching Service is not far behind the NRMP, as it is the main matching program for osteopathic residencies. But now, as we move those osteopathic residencies into the ACG and the accreditation system, we are expecting that the programs will then switch over to use the NRMP system. The San Francisco match is a specialty match that is used for ophthalmology and plastic surgery residencies, as well as a host of fellowships. For those programs that are military-based, there is a specific matching program commonly known as the military match. This program specializes in matching positions within and for the military. So residents or medical students that are in medical school that are part of the military need to match with military hospitals that sponsor GME, and that is done through the military match. Finally, we have the urology residency matching program, which, as you can guess, is specific for the urology residency program. There are a few more, but we're going to focus on the main match, or the NRMP, as we move forward in our presentation. So how does the match work? The match works basically the same for both candidates and for programs. The first step is to register for the match. So programs register for the match, institutions register for the match, and the candidates register for the match. Once they're registered, they receive a match number. That number then is used by both the candidates and the programs when they create their ranking lists. Ranking lists are created after interview season. So as residents go through and they interview at different programs, and programs are interviewing different residents, each group is making their own list of either where they would like to practice, so residents would list their hospitals of their choice, and programs or hospitals would then list the residents of their choice that they wish to rank with. After that ranking list is submitted, the NRMP then performs the match. And the match is actually an algorithm that's been around for about 60 years. So how does the match actually happen? The match is based on an algorithm that has been around for over 60 years. And in 2012, it was actually the basis for research that won the Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences. So the systems are really using some pretty sophisticated methods to perform this matching process. The actual algorithm is beyond the scope of this presentation and actually beyond the scope of your presenter. However, you can see a much more detailed explanation with examples on the NRMP website. In a nutshell, the match process links candidates' first preferences with programs' first preferences. So if I list hospital A, B, and C as my choices, and hospital A does not rank me, then the system will move to hospital B to see if they've ranked me, and so on down the list. In the mid-90s, the algorithm was tweaked a bit to ensure candidate preference over hospital preference, as this was due to a perceived bias in the market. And the current algorithm that is used now has been used successfully since 1997 and has been adopted by many of the other matching programs. Now, all matching services have rules and regulations that must be followed. We will use the NRMP as a guide for this slide discussion. First, there are participation agreements, which both programs and candidates agree to, sign, and are bound by. These agreements spell out the rules that each must follow in order to be allowed to participate in the matching service, and what will happen if you violate any of those rules. There are two highlights I want to bring to your attention from the agreement. The first is that as a result of the agreement, there is no pressure or communication between candidates or programs asking each other, pressuring each other, or wanting to know how each other ranked each other. This is very important, and it is the basis and the hallmark of the ranking of the matching program. The second is that it is a binding commitment. That is, if a candidate matches to a program, the candidate has to go there, and vice versa. So if a program matches to a candidate, they are bound to take him or her. This is why the rank order lists must be made based upon true preferences of the individuals and the programs, and not what you think may happen, or not trying to game the system, because there is no game to the system. It is ranked, it is used, the basis of the system is based upon the preference of the candidate and of the institution. There is an opportunity to obtain a waiver of this binding commitment. However, both parties must be in agreement and submit their cases to the NRMP in order to be released from that commitment. The NRMP is the only one that can let you know, yes, you do not have to take this candidate, or yes, you do not have to go to that program. Matching results are taken very seriously. A recent change in the NRMP match rules is that programs must have an all-in policy. So that is that all residency programs or all residency positions that a residency program is approved for must be offered through the match. And this has had an impact on some programs that used to save a few spots for either international residents or for other purposes when they offered those positions either before or after the match to potential candidates. So the match policies are a must-read by any candidate and by any program. Make sure that you understand them as you are bound by them and do not want to be a match violator, as that may preclude you from participating in future matches. So I want you to keep in mind that there are different matches, and we went through a few of them in the beginning of the presentation. So you need to make sure that you understand which match your program participates in, and also to take a look at the calendar of the deadlines and the dates that that matching service produces. That is because all of the matches have different deadlines, not only from each other, but also for the applicants, for the programs, and for institutions. So you want to make sure that you have everything in place and marked on your calendar so you know you don't miss a deadline. Most matching programs are not application programs. So the application programs that most residents use is the ERAS program, or the Electronic Residency Application Service. That is a completely separate, different, not related program to the matching program. So keep that in mind as well. Just because someone's in ERAS doesn't mean that they're in the NRMP or in a match. So you need to ensure that you have that down pat. Also, there is a fee to use the matching programs. The fees are nominal, but there is a fee for the program, for both the residents and for the programs. So again, you don't want to waste the amount of your ranking list and spend $1 bazillion in order to list everyone that you've interviewed. So you need to think about your rank order list. Think about how you want to rank your residents, and keep in mind that it could add substantially to the cost of the residency program. So some of the benefits of a match program include that the matching programs allows applicants and program directors to consider each other and to look at each other without any pressure. It is a confidential process. There is to be no communication between applicants and program directors as to where a candidate or a program may be ranked. So the pressure is taking off. And this also allows the individuals and the programs too to develop their order lists that reflect their true preferences. It optimizes the choices of both applicants and program directors, and the match actually ensures that each party achieves the most preferred training choice possible based upon the choices that are submitted. It eliminates early offers or exploding offers, and it allows it eliminates applicants for accepting positions, just in case they don't get what they really want. They might accept something outside of the match or accept something along the way. It also eliminates an applicant reneging on their contract or on their offer of acceptance. Offers that are done outside of the match are not bound by the same rules and regulations done within the match. So even if you are able to offer an applicant outside of the match or after the match, they still could possibly renege on that because they're not bound by those match agreements that we all signed in the beginning of the process. One of the most benefits of the greatest benefits of the matching program is that the data that is collected by all of the services provides applicants, program directors, and the GME community with valuable data about the outcomes of the match, training preferences, where the recruits are going, areas of the country that might be experiencing an explosion in a certain specialty, or areas of the country that might be experiencing a decrease in the specialty of the area. So it allows us to address some of the future recruitment options that we may have, and even some manpower needs along the way. Lastly, the benefit is that it is a fair and professional process. It takes away any of the games that may be played between candidates and between programs, and really levels the playing field so that everyone is on the same page. Now, you may have recalled back in the early 2000s, there was a big uproar in the GME community regarding the matching process when Dr. Jung filed a lawsuit against the NRMP and others, claiming that the match process violated antitrust laws and that it was a conspiracy to keep resident salaries low. Now, the suit was dismissed in 2004 as having no basis. However, we still see some various papers come up over the years on both sides of the coin. And there was a recent article that was presented by a Mr. Agarwal from MIT, and he analyzed the matching system. And his analysis suggests that it's the limited number of positions that are in high-quality programs may actually be the cause of the lower salaries and not the actual matching process itself. So there are different views coming out, and there are different people that have different opinions about the matching process. But so we'll have to keep an eye open for additional papers and additional research that might be done. But having been around for as long as it has been, the match system is not going away. So we will definitely use it in some form in the future. Finally, I'd like to let you know about some of the matching data sources. So each of the individual services themselves all have sections on their websites where you can look at the match data. And the match data is a great source for information for you to use in your recruitment planning. It's a great source for new program development. So perhaps you are thinking of starting a new family medicine program. Well, you can take a look and see how the other family medicine programs are doing in your area, in your region. And if you notice that, boy, there's 10 family medicine programs and none of them have filled in the match, they all have open positions, maybe family medicine at your institution is not the way to go. But if you look and you see that orthopedic surgery has consistently filled, there seems to be a need for it in the community, there's few programs that are available, that might be the way to go then for your institution. You can identify trends based upon the match data to see where residents are going. Where are they flocking to? Why are they going to those areas? And it also provides us with a bird's eye view of GME. So we get it from a national perspective, and we can see where the hot pockets of GME activity are amongst the various programs throughout the United States, and give us a real understanding of the trends and of the future that's coming for GME. So I hope that you have enjoyed this short presentation on the match. I recommend that you take a look at some of the bibliography references that we've provided for you. And I wish you much success and great luck in the future with all of your matches. Thank you very much.